let's kind of stick on this idea of some of the original jumpers that influenced you two. Let's kind of talk about this group of people that you grew up with in the sport. Because we've mentioned two already. Are there other people that had a big influence on you when you were first beginning to jump rope?
Yes, so many. Man, if I think back to like people on my team, I know the Pangs have influenced me a lot. They basically it was three siblings, so Andrea, Adam, and Andrew. And I jumped with them, but also learned so much from them because they were older than me. And they influenced my competitive drive, and they influenced how much I love the sport. So I owe a lot to them. And then looking at jumpers kind of outside, I always looked up to Kelsey Moe. She still coaches. She coaches the Summer Wind Skippers, and she was just such a powerhouse. Oh man, she was so strong, and her form was so beautiful. So I looked up to her a lot. I looked up to Laura Eisenhart, who now, what is her last name now? Pierce. Laura Pierce.
Yes.
Yeah, she got married, but looked up to her. And then another one that I would point out is Sean Hamilton. I mean, people know who he is. He's the leader of IJRU now and so influential. But back then, as a jumper, he influenced me. Just, again, his skills were so impressive, but he was just such a presence when he was on the floor. Like, everybody stopped to watch Sean Hamilton jump. And so he inspired me to learn. He inspired me to just be a better person and jumper.
Yeah, and I think for me, as far as on my team, I would say a lot of my teammates I actually jumped with a lot. So Jeff Moss was like he's my best friend, but also the person I jumped with for most of my career. Then you got Lindsay, you have Katrina, you have all these jumpers that I had the privilege of jumping with for certain routines. Like they definitely pushed me to be just better than what I was and just create great routines with them. I would also say outside of my team, like I think for me, the biggest one was Sean. I do remember, looking up or hearing the names of like Derek Hurai, DeMarcus and Derek Epps. I never got a chance to jump with them per se, but DeMarcus and Derek is like I really, over the years as I've gotten older, really got a chance to know them. And like Sean outside of jump rope has been like just an inspiration for me. Like he's like my best friend also outside of jump rope. Like we can get together, hang out, and it's nothing about jump rope. It's all about just hanging out.
That's so cool.
Helping me become a better man, like all that
He's
kind of stuff.
He's such a mentor, just naturally.
Yeah. So, outside of his skill set on the floor, like he just helped me and so many other jumpers just be a better individual.
Yeah.
I feel like that's so special about jump rope is that it feels for a sport. I mean, granted, it is smaller, but it feels so concentrated with really good vibes and really good intentions with everyone around. I'm obviously that's not everyone, but I think by and large, most jumpers have such a great attitude, not only with the sport, but with each other as well.
Yeah. I think that's a huge point. I think that growing up in the sport, at least when Nick and I were growing up, we were constantly just taught that as staff members at these various workshops and as elite older jumpers, when we would go to competition, it was kind of drilled into our heads that like, you are a role model, whether you want to be or not. Mm-hmm. Like people are looking up to you. And so that was really helpful, at least for me growing up, just understanding little eyes are watching you, regardless if you want it or not. You gotta be responsible with that.